Yo, we just landed in London from a British Airways non-stop flight from SFO, and first impressions of London are really fantastic so far. Right now we're going to be headed towards to get some fish and chips. So far we are loving the aesthetics of London, and right now it's the end of May, so we're visiting here when the flowers are blooming. We are very much enjoying the relaxed London atmosphere. It's nice and breezy. The weather is a perfect 74 degrees Fahrenheit. First stop was Ollie's Fish and Chips, where we got cod and chips and also an order of haddock.
Think about it a second.
Ollie's Fish and Chips is rated 4.9 stars on Google Maps, and we would agree with the rating because the food was fantastic. The fish was crispy and just the right amount of chewy and crispy and moist. The portions of the fish and chips really surprised us. They were huge. We only ate maybe 30% of the things that we ordered, and we had to take the rest to go. And we also got a side of pickled onions, which was really necessary to cut through the fat and the crispiness of the meal. Overall, it was a wonderful start to our trip in London, and the food really surpassed our expectations. It seems Claire has already fallen in love with London when we're walking around. The breeze, the greenery, the flowers, and just the overall aesthetics of London is really touching her heart. We are staying in the King's Cross area today, so maybe this area is calling to us in terms of its appearance. So today we are glad that we got a wonderful experience in London so far. Tomorrow we're going to be headed towards more of the touristy attractions. See you tomorrow. Good morning for day 2 of London, and this morning we ate some leftover fish and chips. You can tell that the portions were really huge because we have enough leftovers for 2 more meals. Right now we're going to be headed towards Blank Street Coffee, which is near King's Cross, for some matcha. The area near the city center is more typical of like a modern city with a lot of construction and office buildings, and it doesn't feel as emotional or as good as the area that we are living in King's Cross. So the River Thames and the bridge area is not as interesting to us. The sun is out now, so everything looks a lot more beautiful and appealing. So we did go to the Borough Market to check it out for a short time. We were very early, so most of the markets were not open yet. So we went to get some coffee, and now we are headed towards Tower Bridge. We are finding that we enjoy the London suburbs more than walking around the city center. The city center reminds us more of like a typical modern city. There are some beautiful little streets and alleys in the city center. However, the overall feel of the area is a lot more depressing compared to the suburbs near the King's Cross area. After a short but pleasant walk across Tower Bridge, we got lunch at Boom Bop Burger, where we got some tasty but expensive cheeseburgers in the Leadenhall Market. And now, as you can see, we are in the Sky Garden, and the Sky Garden is a beautiful free tourist attraction where you can get a view of the entire city of London from all around the view top area. So it's a very interesting place to get a view of London because it includes a garden and a lot of seating areas. Our last attraction of the day was Tower of London, and we really enjoyed the crown jewels. They were the highlight of the $40 per person ticket, which is very pricey for a lot of the London attractions. We're not generally hugely interested in history, so mostly the crown jewels was the highlight of the Tower of London trip. We ended the day at our last dinner, which is at Rex Cross, and it's basically an Italian restaurant that's known for cocktails. and we got the spaghetti carbonara and the sirloin steak, both of which were fantastic. And the restaurant is rated about 5 stars on Google, and we would pretty much agree with that rating. Maybe we would give it like 4.8 or so total, so we highly recommend it. Of the 3 restaurants we've eaten so far in London, we really enjoy that the food in London is not very salty. The steak and also the spaghetti carbonara and the fish and chips, all of them were very unsalty. And that's all for our second day in London. Overall, we really did enjoy today. However, it wasn't as heartfelt as we did yesterday, because today was more of the main city center. Well, good morning, day 3 of our London trip, and today is also going to be a beautiful sunny day. And we would just wanted to say that yesterday, our last meal of the day at Rex Cross really made our day yesterday. Once again, all the food was great and made us feel like it completed the day and finished off another wonderful day 2 in London. So today we're going to be headed towards Westminster Abbey and also walking around Buckingham Palace and hopefully enjoying some wonderful meals as well. So Westminster Abbey is basically a large cathedral built on top of a cemetery. There's a lot of people in there who you can visit and spend a lot of time looking into, but we only spent about an hour and 30 minutes in there and enjoyed it. After strolling around a little bit in London and getting some hot chocolate at Noops, we got the 72% hot chocolate and it was delicious, so try it out. And then afterwards we got lunch at Dishoom, which is basically the cheesecake factory of Indian chain restaurants in London. It's very huge, it's very nice, and the food is overpriced and pretty good, but probably not worth it. The curry sauces at Dishoom was actually very good. We got the chicken ruby and the mutton pepper curry, and the curry sauces in both of them were very good. However, the meat was kind of powdery and dry, so we were really disappointed about the meat. So Dishoom turned out to be probably our most disappointing restaurant experience so far in London. To follow up our disappointing meal at Dishoom, we ended up getting dinner at the Wilmington, which is a pub that serves mostly known for their Sunday roast. And so we got mostly their 3 special dishes: the scallops, the duck pie, and also the liver, the chopped liver. And all the 3 dishes were amazing and really lived up to our expectations for London food. To follow up some of our impressions on London food in general, we still find that London food, we love it because it's not very salty and allows the taste of the ingredients to shine through. We're finding that we really love walking through the more suburby parts of London, and the sidewalks are so easy to walk, and there's always something going on at the pubs and always something going on at every street corner. And that's pretty much the highlight of our 3rd day in London, walking around the Buckingham Palace area and also the Big Ben area. They're all very beautiful areas to walk around, and there's beautiful parks all throughout. Hey again, welcome to another wonderful day in London. Today is mostly going to be a museum day. We're spending most of the day at the British Museum, so it's going to be a pretty boring video, I guess, because we're just going to be spending about 5 or 6 hours at the museum. I finally figured out what the neighborhood we enjoy is called. This area is called Islington, which is the area near King's Cross Station. Right now we're going to be headed towards Aromi Bakery. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a pretty popular bakery right now with a lot of YouTubers going there. Apparently you are allowed to bring food into the British Museum, so our plan is to get maybe 3 pieces of the bakery stuff and then eat it for lunch in the museum. We spent about 5 hours total browsing the British Museum, which we would call the rich people's Museum of Materialism, because there's just a lot of stuff that people would own and cherish. The British Museum is also a fantastic place to take portrait pictures inside because there's a lot of diffuse lighting in the main hall. I guess our only critique of the British Museum would be that each of the rooms seems to have their own temperatures, and the museum is not very well temperature controlled. We were able to try the other 3 pastries that we got from Aromi in the British Museum, and we have to say that even though the prices for each of the pastries is around $8 US, which is really expensive, it was well worth the price because the pastries were really fantastic. We got the apple pastry, we got the pesto pastry with tomatoes, and also we got a savory sausage croissant pastry, and all of them were amazing. They tasted great. They weren't too salty, they weren't too oily, they weren't too rich, and after we finished eating them, we felt light and very satisfied. So we highly recommend the Aromi Bakery, which has been featured on a whole bunch of YouTube videos. We finished another beautiful day in London with some Thai food for dinner at Plaza Khao Gang. They serve some very spicy food, including gang som and the morning glory, and also we got some stinky bean thingy. So far, after 4 days in London, we've found that we don't really enjoy the area near the River Thames, near the Millennium Bridge and that kind of area, but everywhere else in London has been fantastic so far. The atmosphere, the places of interest, and the restaurants and stores are very we're gonna be back tomorrow on our train trip to Edinburgh. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It's a beautiful, rare, sunny morning in London. We're headed towards the breakfast restaurant to get a full English breakfast. Okay, well, we lied a little bit. The restaurant that we went to, Sandwich Street Kitchen, didn't really serve like a traditional English breakfast. They just served mostly normal sausage, eggs, bacon, and hash browns. But it was very good, so we enjoyed it. We're now gonna be headed towards Edinburgh, so we'll see you again next time when we head back to London for another 3 nights. Yo, we made it back to London from our little trip to Edinburgh and York. We had a wonderful time in Edinburgh and York, and now we're back to London for another 3 nights before we head back to the US. Upon arriving to London yesterday afternoon, our first order of business was to go to the Science Museum, which we thought was pretty dull and boring. The reason is the Science Museum is kind of formulaic. It almost seems like you're surfing a web page or something, and we kind of got bored of it, so we left, and then got some Chinese food again. The Chinese food that we got was at number 10 restaurant. It's a Shanghai oriented Chinese restaurant where we got the hot pot with the duck blood, the tripe, and the beef balls, and also we got a steamed bass with chilies on top. And the restaurant was very good. We haven't really tried many other Chinese restaurants in London, but this one, the food was very good, but it was pretty pricey. Our bill turned out to be around $120 total, which is a lot. So today we're going to be headed to the National Gallery, which houses a whole bunch of world famous paintings and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be more engaged today at the museum. Some of these parks in London are really fantastic. Right now we are at Holland Park, and it really makes you feel like you're in the wild somewhere away from the city on a trail in the woods. There's not much more we can say about the National Gallery that hasn't already been said. It's a fantastic museum with art from all different kinds of periods and art from famous painters and whatnot. So we really enjoyed the museum along with the organization of the museum. Each of the rooms were organized in color code and also by room number, so it was easy to find. Ever since we've gotten to the UK, we've developed a little bit of a addiction or fascination with Canoops. It's a hot chocolate chain and we've tried it 4 times. This morning we tried the 100% hot chocolate and we really can't recommend it because the hot chocolate that is 100% tastes kind of like medicine, so it's not that good. The Canoops really isn't as good as the hot chocolate we've had in Paris, but it's only available in the UK, we believe, so we had to try it multiple times. Right now we're going to be headed towards the Wilmington, which is a restaurant we visited before. This time we're going to try to get the Sunday roast. Our only Sunday roast of the trip was pretty good, nothing to write home about, so we got the beef rump cap Sunday roast. The Sunday roast has similar ingredients to some of the prime rib English steakhouses that we've been to in the US. But in this case, the beef rump was fairly chewy and stringy compared to the prime rib that we've eaten in the past. However, the meal is still enjoyable. Although it's not anything that we would recommend or be addicted to or have cravings for. So right now we're going to be headed towards Hyde Park, and that's the last thing we're going to do today. At the Wilmington in particular, their Sunday roasts are only sold on Sunday. So if you are interested in getting a Sunday roast, just check the restaurant to see if they serve Sunday roast every day or only on Sundays. The best description that we can give of Hyde Park is that it is less of a beautiful park and more of a practical park for people to hang out, picnic, walk their dogs, and just bike around. It's a lot of open space, a lot of walkways, and just a lot of places for people to sit down and just relax. It's a lot different than Holland Park, where Holland Park is more of a natural, wild nature, foresty park versus Hyde Park, which is more manicured open space. We are now finished with all of our activities for the day and we're heading to dinner at Cha Ki. It's a Hong Kong restaurant specializing in roast duck and rice dishes. Cha Ki was a small hole-in-the-wall restaurant with only 4 tables, so sometimes the wait can be up to 30 minutes to an hour. In our case, we got the beef tripe and tendon, or beef brisket and tendon noodles, along with the beef brisket and tendon curry rice. And both of the dishes were really good. We had to wait about 20 minutes for them to recook a new batch of the beef tendon, but it was well worth the wait. Overall, it was a very good meal for the money, and the beef noodle was very delicious, but it was kind of a little bit too fatty. Otherwise, we really enjoyed everything. Well, today is our last day in London, and I've got a cold, and also our camera battery ran out, so we just wanted to do a quick overview of our pros and cons of our UK trip. Overall, we really love the UK. We feel that most of our experiences, almost all of our experiences in the UK was really fantastic. We had fantastic service in the restaurants. Everybody was really nice. We never felt out of place or a weird vibe or anything. So that is a big positive for the UK. And overall, we enjoyed the cities we went to: Edinburgh, York, and London. They all have their own unique charms and cool stuff to see. And so we hope you enjoyed watching our short little vlog of London, and hope you can also watch our vlogs of Edinburgh and York. So thanks for watching. See you on the next adventure.